funeral services of Mrs. Dale M. Samlan. Rabbi Deborah Bravo will be officiating. At this time, we're going to perform the sacred funeral ceremony.
Thank you so much. I know this is a very unusual way for us to be able to support the family at this difficult time, but it was important for Dale that her children, Robin and David, remain as safe as possible from COVID, and so it was her wish that everyone be as safe and healthy as could be. And so we are gathered from across the country to be able to pay our respects to Dale Samlan and to be able to support her family as they go through this loss. We remember Dale and join our hearts together to give comfort and strength to her family. Mourning is a time filled with many emotions and memories, both bitter and sweet. We begin our service with the recitation of psalms and prayers, thus linking Dale's life with the millennia-old tradition of the people of Israel and the eternity of our God. We often turn to our psalms for comfort and for solace, and so we join in the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. From the book of Ecclesiastes we learn, for everything there is a season, a time for every experience under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance, a time to throw stones and a time to gather those stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to discard, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. An ancient people, we are well acquainted with grief and with the valley of shadows. Death and sorrow are not strangers to us, yet the centuries have taught us that a good name endures beyond the grave, and that there is great strength in faith. With Job we say, you have given us a loved one who will never be forgotten. For all that was good and enduring in her life, we offer the deepest thanks of our hearts. You have now taken away. We pray for the strength to turn our broken hearts into an altar of trust, before which we acknowledge your sovereignty and your love, as we now say, blessed be your name forever and ever. We are all gathered together today from across the country to be able to give honor to an incredible woman, a woman of great strength, great pride, great endurance through our pain and our sadness. Our sympathies extend to Dale's family and to her many friends, to her children, Robin and David, to her grandson, Jacob, to her sister-in-law, Anita, to her niece and nephews, Deborah and Walter and Daniel, Scott and Stephen, to her great-nephews Lucas and Devin, to her extended family and many, many friends, we give each of you our condolences on your loss. Dale touched everyone in her own unique way, and through that touch, by that interaction, she will always be remembered. There is a story entitled The Two Ships. These two ships were once seen near land. One of them was leaving the harbor, and the other was coming into it. Everyone was cheering the outgoing ship, giving it a hearty send-off, but the incoming ship was scarcely noticed. A wise man standing nearby explained the people's reaction. "Rejoice not," he said, "over the ship that is setting out to sea, for you know not what destiny awaits it, what storms it might encounter, what dangers lurk before it. Rejoice rather over the ship that has reached port safely and brought back all its passengers in peace." It is the way of the world that when a human being is born, we rejoice, and when she dies, we sorrow. Perhaps it should be the other way around. No one can tell what troubles await the developing child on her journey through life. And we know life was not always easy for Dale, but she embraced it. She fought for it until the very end. She leaves behind 2 loving and caring children, and so perhaps we can rejoice, for even though she left this world far too soon, she did complete her journey successfully, and she is departing from this world with the imperishable crown of a good name. Dale was born on June 3rd, 1943, to Harry and Rose Gutof. She was born in Chicago and raised there with her older brother Richard, who is now of blessed memory. Dale was always very close with her brother. She attended Von Steuben High School, and I know that she remained in touch with many of her high school classmates, some of you who are here with us today. While growing up, Dale spent her summers in South Haven, Michigan. Her grandparents had a cottage there, and all the cousins and the aunts would spend the summers there. It was a place that always remained close to Dale's heart and brought her such joy. After high school, Dale went off to college to study education at the University of Illinois, first at Navy Pier and then downstate. Upon graduation, she went to teach in Chicago. First, she was involved in a Head Start program, and then she taught elementary school. She met her beloved Bruce in high school, and they dated through college, remaining together at Navy Pier and then downstate. They were married after college. They had 3 children together. Howie, the oldest, was born in Chicago, then Robin, who was born in Pittsburgh, and David was born in Wisconsin. Bruce was a patent attorney, so they moved around a little bit in the earlier days. Dale and her family unfortunately suffered such horrible, sudden tragedy in a very short period of time, losing both Bruce, her beloved husband, in a house fire, and 1 year later, losing Howie, their eldest son. Despite the tremendous grief and pain, Dale did go on as a resilient, kind, caring, thoughtful woman to raise Robin and David and to live life for many, many years. After Bruce's death, Dale returned to the Chicago area, making a home for them in Northbrook. She stayed at home with the children, and she eventually went back to school to get her MA in counseling, and then, of course, decided to become a preschool teacher, which she just adored doing. She worked at Northfield Community Nursery School as a preschool teacher for many years and retired in her early 60s. Dale remained in Northbrook until she moved to Glenview in 2000 to downsize the family home since Robin and David had moved out. During these years, Dale loved reading, attending book clubs, and going to the pool. She took many little excursions. She loved going back to South Haven with family and friends. She would visit Robin and David wherever they might be living. She loved being out and about. She was the classic organizer, always bringing people together and making things happen. Dale enjoyed going to dinner with her friends, many of whom I know are on this call. She took classes at the senior center and attended their luncheons. She even hosted a well-known get-together every year on New Year's Day. She was always finding ways to bring people together. If she had an idea, she made it happen. She was the glue for family and friends alike, and she will be missed. More recently, Dale moved to Tucson, Arizona in October of 2019 to be closer to Robin and closer to where David and Jakey are in California. She found an apartment there and was going to the JCC to meet people at the pool, in senior center programs, and other activities. She was still continuing to organize up until the very end, making sure to have excursions, to see some of the friends, and to be out and about. And she really enjoyed and embraced the warmer weather. Unfortunately, Dale had been in and out of doctors since her move to Arizona, and then, of course, the pandemic hit. She never really had a chance to enjoy her new home. Judaism was always a part of her life. When they lived in Wisconsin, they belonged to B'nai Abraham, and Rabbi Alan Bregman was their rabbi, and they had many fond memories from their time with him. When they moved to Northbrook, the family joined BJBE, and I know that there are a number of you from BJBE on the call, and that, of course, is how I met the Samlan family. Robin and I became good youth group friends, and David was actually one of my students. More recently, Dale was connected to Judaism more culturally. She enjoyed the traditions. She enjoyed going to synagogue when she went, and holiday celebrations were always important. Perhaps most importantly, she loved children, and she just adored having a grandson. He was such an important part of her life. Dale was not ready to leave this earth. She tried so hard to overcome these medical challenges. She truly never gave up until the very end. She was resilient, perhaps defined being resilient, from a time that she was a young wife and mother until most recent days. She remained that way. She was really looking forward to embracing this new chapter of life in Arizona. Unfortunately, she was not allowed to have those days and weeks and years. However, the incredible relationships that she had throughout her life, the wonderful children that she raised who have been incredible children to their mother in these last years, months, and weeks. To have the special rapport with her beautiful grandson, and to have so many incredible friendships, these all live on beyond eternity. And so, after long and full years, it was time for Dale to bid farewell to her life here on earth. She is once again reunited with her loved ones, with her beloved husband Bruce, her son Howie, her dear brother Richard, and all of those who came before her. And her soul lives on in life eternal, in each one of you who knew her, those to whom she gave and whom she admired so. What is good and lovely will never perish, and therefore Dale's spirit, her strength, and her wisdom will live on for all eternity. And together we all say, Amen. I will share now reflections from Robin and then David. Robin shares, I am grateful to have had my mom in our lives for so long. Both her presence and her absence shape who I've been and who I want to be. When I think of my mom, I think about love, kindness, and resilience. She loved with a big heart, caring deeply about our immediate and extended family, and also the family she created with friends. She somehow kept track of everyone, including all of our friends, and was always interested in their lives. One of her gifts was making us all feel interesting and special. She became an honorary mom, aunt, and grandma to many very special people. You know who you are. My mom loved you and was proud of you. The last year has been so difficult for so many people. A gift for me during this time was having my mom move in with me. She was a wonderful pandemic buddy, planning activities to keep us from going crazy, helping me remain connected with family and friends, and participating in anything I suggested. I was able to get to know her better and will always celebrate her kindness, her grace, and her strength. As Hope Edelman wrote, "Loss is our legacy. Insight is our gift. Memory is our guide. May my mom's memory be a source of strength and blessing to all who knew her." And we share now thoughts from David. My mom had a challenging life with a lot of loss and trauma, as well as happy times. Throughout it all, she always believed there would be better days and never stopped trying or loving the people around her. There were good years, bad years, good days and bad days, but she always looked for the positive in any situation. She was a great friend to many and someone who believed strongly in family. My mom was a good person and never wanted to cause anyone discomfort and always put other people's needs in front of her own. My mom never gave up on me and always believed I would find my way even when my vision was non-existent or foggy. It was this unconditional love that got us through challenging times. She always provided or created opportunities for Robin and I to have the best life possible. My mom loved my son so much and wanted so badly to see him grow up and be part of his life. Her imprint on him will be forever, as her spirit and kindness will continue to carry forward in our family, as it will in the people present and the people not able to be here. My hope for her is that she is surrounded by love and peacefulness. Thank you all for being here to help her transition to her next phase of her journey. And having heard from Robin and David, let us now take a moment to reflect on our own personal relationship with Dale, our friend, family member, colleague, neighbor, and loved one. We pause in silent remembrance. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, be acceptable to you. A life well lived is a precious gift of hope and strength and grace from someone who has made our world a brighter, better place. It's filled with moments, sweet and sad, with smiles and sometimes tears, with friendships formed and good times shared, and laughter through the years. A life well lived is a legacy of joy and pride and pleasure, a living, lasting memory our grateful hearts will treasure. At this time, we join in the traditional El Malei Rachamim prayer. El Malei Rachamim, Shochem Bamromim, Hamseh Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei HaShechina, Im Kedoshim Otarim Kezorakia, Mazhirim et Nishmata, Shelcha Leolama, Bal Rachamim Yastireha, Beseter Kenafav Leolamim, Vayitzor Bitzor HaChaim et Nishmata, Adonai hu nachalata, v'tanuach b'shalom al mishkava, v'nomar amen. O God of abundant mercy, God most high, may the soul of our loved one who has gone into eternity find the gift of perfect peace in your embrace, together with the holy and pure, whose light shines like the radiance of heaven. Compassionate God, hold her close to you forever, so that her soul may be bound up in the bond of life eternal. May she find a home with you, and may she rest in peace. And together let us all say, Amen. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am in 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glint on snow. I am the gentle autumn rain. I am the sunlight on ripened grain. When you awake in the morning hush, I am in the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circling flight. I am the soft starlight at night. I am in the flowers that bloom. I can be found in a quiet room. When you see the sunset fair, I am the scented evening air. I am in the birds that sing. I am in each lovely thing. At this time, we join in the traditional Mourner's Kaddish prayer, the prayer that helps us remember those who have departed this earth, and yet it is a prayer that speaks rather simply of life, of living, and of praising God. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehi shemei Rabbah mavarach le'olam alamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran b'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. May God, the source of peace, and peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved. And together let us all say, Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, for Shiva information, for those of you who are here, that's on the service folder, as well as the memorial contributions. For the over 100 screens that are watching, you can get all the information about Shiva or memorial contributions to the Jewish Family and Children's Service of Southern Arizona, or Literacy Connects. All that information is on our website. At this time, on behalf of the rabbi, I'm going to approach her casket to place Earth from Israel on there. Then we're going to ask the gentleman from the cemetery to bring Dale's casket to her grave. We're going to pause for a few moments. After they place the cover of the vault, we'll put Earth in her grave on behalf of the family and for those of you who are here, and then we'll conclude the service. This time we're going to turn off the volume until we resume in a few moments. The tradition is to place 3 measures of earth into the grave. So we first begin by doing this on behalf of Robin. Now I do this on behalf of her son David. And this is for Jacob. For Rabbi Bravo. And this is for all the people that wanted to attend that did not have the availability to attend. Now the people that are here at Shalom are going to come forward to place earth into her grave. This time I am going to turn off the volume, and then after they place the earth, we'll ask the gentleman from the cemetery to cover her grave, and this will conclude the funeral ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the service. We thank all of you who joined us online and for those of you who are present here at the cemetery. We hope everyone remains safe and healthy.